about this. Apparently, somebody has added me to the Tasty Toes and Amazing Souls group.
Whoa. Okay.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
The dead is arisen.
Okay. Look what we have. It's B.
You know, 2 seconds from throwing this damn computer out the window.
Did you get the new one?
No, I can't afford a new computer.
I thought you got a new one.
I thought you said you was going to get a new one.
No, I said I got this one fixed.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to buy a new one. But it looks like I need to go ahead and buy a new one. What's going on?
You know,
everything.
I think the night would go better if we did not discuss 3 idiots in China.
Yeah, why not? They're not in China no more, eh?
3 idiots.
The 3 idiots from China are now home, but
I wouldn't necessarily call them idiots. I'll just call them
idiots.
What's the worst? What's a word that's even beyond idiot?
Yeah, you give me the cussing if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Using
using bad words and profanity
or uncomplimentary ethnic slurs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Idiot, for the purposes of this show, idiots might work better.
Yeah. I already got to edit out one thing. I ain't gonna
buffoons. We could go buffoons.
So what's the status? They're home, and they're actually.
Yes, they're home.
But are they
suspended indefinitely?
Yeah, they did suspend them finally.
They did suspend them indefinitely. They made a point.
They don't need them.
I don't know whether this was before 45's comments, but they made it a point to film them on camera, thanking him for stepping in.
Well, now, they had said, because this morning when I was watching the news.
That's funny.
And they were arriving, and, of course, all the media was out there, whatever. The people had already said, the media was like, the guy that was reporting it, he was like, there's a news conference scheduled later today or whatever. So, Let's see, what time did Agent Orange make his tweet?
Oh, Jesus.
I want to say probably around 11, 12 o'clock, maybe.
It was around 10. So I think they had just, they landed super early this morning because it was still dark outside. So I think they landed this morning / last night at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Somewhere.
Yeah, so at 10 this morning, they were probably still asleep. Because they probably haven't slept since the ordeal began. Because even if you're under house arrest in a hotel in a foreign country and everybody else has left you there. Right, and everybody else has left you there and you're facing 10 years of jail.
Right.
I'm probably thinking you're not sleeping much. So this was probably the first good night's sleep they've had in a smooth minute.
Good night's sleep, home cooked meal, the whole nine.
Right, and all of that. And even still...
Just in time for Thanksgiving.
and even still, I'm just like, really, sir? You had to make the tweet. Was it necessary?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Look who we're talking about.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Mr. Twitter himself.
He makes me so tired.
Well, in the case of 3 idiots that was that stupid enough to do that. Look, man, this is. I was trying to ignore this thing going back to a week ago, and nobody would let me ignore it. And I'm like, do y'all realize that they weren't in North Korea, but they were only a few rungs above it? I mean, if you think about it, there's only maybe 4 places on the face of this planet that it was worse to go and do that in.
Right.
We're not talking, and I know all the social media is gonna say, well, they're just children that made a stupid mistake. We allowing wife beaters to play in the NFL. These guys stole something. Don't punish them. But I was like, look, we ain't talking about entitled millennials that think the rules don't apply to them. These dudes have leveled up. They thinking that reality doesn't apply to them.
Right.
Americans, for whatever reason, think they can sneak into North Korea and they wind up dead. Why are you going into North Korea? I don't get that.
Dennis
These
Rodman.
dudes are like, these dudes be like, let's go to China of all places and shoplift like we in a Walmart in Petersburg, Virginia.
Wait, and you stole some sunglasses. Was that to go with your Ferrari, sir?
Just to go to his Big Baller Brand shoes.
I mean, but I would say, but you have a Ferrari. So if you wanted to buy Louis Vuitton, you could have bought the Louis.
Well, he could have got the same person that bought him the Ferrari to get him the glasses.
Either way.
But I think you're touching on a point there, Lenise, that maybe to the other two, and I don't know. I haven't read up on their backgrounds as far as do they come from wealthy families or families.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily single one of them out.
But my point is, if you are LiAngelo Ball and you do have all of this in front of you, if you are the one person that's going to make the headlines, to me, his idiocy goes beyond. That to me is more about the privilege aspect, because there's nothing in his brain that should tell him that was a good idea. And the other two was probably, right. I clearly believe he was the ringleader in that process, because
I do too.
He put it out there and Rod seconded it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's when you look at a situation where a person is more,
it has been moved and properly second.
Right.
Carry this motion.
Right. When you
sounds like there's a third out there too.
When you're the person that's more the alpha, the other two are probably following along and thinking, well, I'm hanging with him.
Right.
If we get caught, I'm with him. They're gonna let you know.
Right.
And, right. So I was talking about it in another group, and somebody had pointed out, they were like, yeah, this is like white privilege on 1,000, because it's American privilege, and Americans do dumb stuff out of the country all the time. But you would think in the year where the guy that went into North Korea just came home in a coma and then died, you would go, you know what? I'm going over here overseas, and I'm only going to move when they tell me I can move.
Basically, I'm going to play ball and eat, and that's all I'm doing.
Right. And I'm going to play ball, eat, and go to bed. Oh, and you need me to take this selfie with you? Sure. But I'm not touching anything, because I don't want you to say that I broke anything.
You went to China.
You went to China. Yeah. And in China and places, China still does public floggings for things. They still beat you in public for breaking the law.
Or go to certain countries where they cut your hand off.
Right. Like, what are you thinking?
Which is to say, if he stole in China, he'd have stolen Iran.
Right.
Well, my thing is, if you stole in China, you've probably stolen in America too. You didn't just all of a sudden go to China and be like, today I'm gonna be a stick-up kid, and I'm gonna try to shoplift something. That's not what happened.
I used to be a stick-up kid, so I think of all the devious things I did. Oh, I'm sorry. I just had a moment.
You had a moment.
You had a moment? Peter, you okay?
I used to roll up. This is a hold up. That's my dude right there. But yeah, that's just bizarre.
This wasn't their first time, or I'm sure it wasn't his first time.
It wasn't somebody's first time.
It wasn't somebody's first time shoplifting from wherever. But you and you have to know that there was a conversation had.
Oh yeah, it was a conversation
before you left the country. Because even when you go and get the application for passports, or go get your picture taken for passports, there's this long packet that comes with information on conduct and stuff in foreign countries. I'm sure they told the dudes that boarded the plane from UCLA that were in college and are subject to make bad decisions because they're young on occasion, hey, don't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
There had to be a conversation, and yet, no, here you go. You've made the news.
Yeah. Well.
Thanks for playing. And now, as Previn so eloquently put it, we are going to be reminded by 40 tweet reminded by 45.
We're all obligated.
We are all obligated to be thankful for to this clown, which clearly it just so happens that he was there at the same time this went on, and he was like, they were facing 10 years. Well, okay, and had they had to do 10 years, they deserved it. I'm not crying for them.
Let's just move on to some other things going on around here. Rod, I was out there in the cold, man, and let me tell you something. On that Monday night, it was fun. I was hanging with my daughter, with my peoples. Got the free ticket.
Oh, so you came to the game?
Oh yeah. I came to the game. I had the Jake Long on. Yeah, I did a couple little videos walking up there. You know how it is with the the primetime games, and I got up there and I sat up there and I got a little hot dog and a little bit of hot chocolate and and I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and it's funny because we're watching the game, the Dolphins, there. Oh, here comes Jay Cutler, man. Okay, whatever. Then Carolina scores and like, okay, whatever. And then you blink and you look up and it's 24-7 or something. And I looked over and I said, if they don't get it within one score by the third quarter, yep. And it got worse. The weather got colder. It got worse.
Hey man, brother had to go to work the next.
But it wasn't like I went up in there thinking anything more than, okay, the minor miracle might happen, because I'm like, I was hoping for bad Cam, but we got dancing Cam. So
you got dancing Cam.
Every time he did,
because Lord knows Cam is bipolar. When he's winning, he's all good. And when
I was hoping for bad Cam, but I got dancing Cam. When I saw that, I
was hoping for pouting Cam.
Pouting, yeah, I was hoping.
You get pouting Cam.
Yeah, this one lady was in front of me. You could tell she probably been in like 4 games all her life, but she's a Dolphins fan. She had her son with her, and she's in there. I'm getting clowned on Facebook. I can't believe everybody coming after me. They talk about what's the score. You watching the game? You see the score and all this.
Might as well just turn off your phone.
And then she looked over at her son. Right. Why you not mad? What's going on? He's like, because I'm a real Dolphins fan. He's like, I knew we weren't going to win. I said, that's my man. That's what I'm talking about. There's nothing biased about that. There's nothing pessimistic. He was real.
He was like, we are who I thought we were.
He was like, Jay Cutler is our quarterback. I was like,
he was like me the last time, not this year, but was it 2 years ago when the Eagles were here for Sunday Night Football, Chip Kelly's last year?
Yeah.
I mean, I went to the game hoping for, something good to transpire.
Yeah.
Right. And it was a respectable game. The score, it was decent. But, when folks were like, you didn't seem upset when you were watching. Yeah, people were like, you didn't look upset. And I was like, yeah, it's okay. I knew what I was getting into when I went to the game, but the Eagles aren't here often, so I'm here. But
there's only 2 positives I took from that game. Funches is on my fantasy team, and Kenyon Drake is on my fantasy team. That's it. I was about to say, I was like, Funches, they actually threw the ball to him. That's crazy.
Man, you saw what I said on the book. The Dolphins play like a 1980s wrestling jobber.
I did
the
see
Mulkey
that.
Brothers,
I was like,
Mike Simone, Rocky King.
Man,
because I mean, look, what's your record, man? What's your record?
4-6 now, I think.
4-6.
There's
a lot of teams that would like
4 and 5. Whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams in the NFL right now that would like to have 4 wins.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, we was actually 4-3 at one point.
Right. Yet when the Dolphins lose, they don't just lose; they lose.
They get blasted.
I mean, you got 3 shutouts
on national TV.
On national TV, 3 shutouts.
What did I say? I was like, why? Why? I was like, why? Why the fish on cold fish? That's what I call them.
I'm like, how do you get shut out 3 times in the NFL season?
And
that's hard to do.
It's extremely hard.
Now I did, Rod. I had to check a couple of fans up there because they were just like, the Dolphins ain't been good. This and I was like, I was like, we snuck in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
The playoffs. I was like, we ain't sneaking nowhere this year, but we snuck in the playoffs last year.
Look, we was at the house.
And for the record, I miss Ryan Tannehill, another Big 12 quarterback. I miss him.
Yeah.
Moving on from the Dolphins. Anyway, why is everybody going crazy all over about the Cowboys losing to the Falcons? I mean, I get the whole.
They are. I missed that one.
I get the lineman was out and Ezekiel, all that mess, but I mean,
I don't think it's so much that people are going crazy that they lost to the Falcons. I think it's the way that they lost to the Falcons. Because even if you thought the Falcons were going to win, I don't think anybody thought that the Falcons was going to lambaste them, which is essentially what happened in that game. Because even after, like in my office pool, I had picked Dallas to win, and even after Zeke, the announcement came out that Zeke wasn't going to be playing, and because it came out the day that we had turned in our sheets, and everybody was trying to. It probably came out, I think, like maybe 30 minutes after everybody had turned in their sheets. So the guy was putting it together so that we could take it home to see what we had and whatnot. And he was like, my desk, everything went nuts because everybody came running to his desk and was like, I want to change my pick for the Dallas Atlanta game. And even he was like, you want to change your pick? I was like, nah, because I was like, the Cowboys can beat the Falcons. The Falcons have been bipolar this season. I never saw what happening. I mean, even if the Cowboys, like I said, even if I thought the Cowboys would lose, I didn't think they were going to lose like that.
Yeah, I would. Let me ask this fundamental question, Prev. As a lineman, football-wise, or Lenise, Rod, whatever, do you think it's easier to pass block or run block, just in general?
Depends on what area you're coming out of.
If I'm a left tackle,
but most old linemen that I've ever
want to go that way,
talked to or heard them, or when I heard them talking, they all prefer to run block.
They want to go that way. They want to go that way.
They?
No, Previn, don't even go to that. But what I'm getting to is, if you see your dude getting beat and you ran the ball 18 times in a game, let the dude run block. Why you trying to let him to pass protect? Let him. I would rather go 3 yards in a cloud of dust and punt before I get my quarterback killed. I mean,
right. But or could you roll some help to his side? Clearly, but he wasn't able to get that done by himself. Can we stick a tight end over here so he can chip somebody? Something.
They could have overloaded the line and put 4.
They
could have offset the line or something.
Something, because they had turned that man from the Falcons into a Pro Bowler in one game.
Instead of straight drop backs, they could have did a bunch of stuff. I was just curious because I'm sitting there going, I'm like in the huddle every time if I'm him, every time a pass play was called, I'm like, oh, all right, let's go.
I guess.
I'm like, can we run the ball?
Clearly, Dak needed a soak in the hot tub when that game was over.
Yeah, I don't think he ran for his life for real.
Did you see the article I posted earlier today that Zeke is finally withdrawing all his appeals and just going to serve the 6-game extension straight up?
Yeah, that's something he probably should have thought
about.
I called
it. But I'm like you though. He could have got that out the way and been playing now and making a decent push.
Sir, you could have been exactly where they needed you right now.
And for the statement that he put out and whatever, he definitely could have.
What did he say? I didn't actually read the whole statement. I was at work, so I saw the breaking news, so I just posted it. I didn't actually read his statement.
Cliff Notes version of it, basically, I'm not admitting guilt and whatever, but for the sake of my family, my teammates, whatever, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the 6 games and keep it moving. So, sir, you could.
And we couldn't have done that. Well, when did he get suspended? 3 weeks of the preseason?
Yeah.
Or the week before the season started?
That's the same thing.
It was before the season.
3 weeks of the preseason. That's the same week. It's about the same time. It's about the same time. Yeah.
Okay. Like I was skipping. I'm like, you could have sat there the first 6 games and been back already.
Yep.
Nah, that's not. Yeah, he didn't want to do all that. He wanted to fight the system, fight everything.
Listen, I'm a campaign. Look, hey, instead of 6, can I get 3? I'll just take him straight off the chin. I mean, you want me to do 4? Okay, look, we'll do 4. We'll
compromise. I'll give you 4.
I'll give you 4. I'm gonna go ahead and sit these 4 out.
And they're probably gonna reduce to 4.
If we thought they were going to be a playoff team, if we thought that, are they in trouble? Because there's a lot of teams with 5 and 6 wins. A lot of teams with 6 wins in the NFC.
Well, let's pull up their record.
And a couple of them are not. You know what I'm saying? A couple of them are going to pan out. Like I think the Vikings got 6 wins. The Saints got 6 wins.
The Vikings are going to win the division.
Right, the Rams got 6 wins. Yeah. Seattle's got 6 wins.
But the Vikings are going to win. But the Vikings are going to win their division.
Right, but what I'm getting to,
and I don't think the NFC North is going. I don't think the NFC North is going to send 2 teams.
Detroit got 6 wins.
Yeah, but Detroit will be Detroit.
So,
but my point is, do you have more faith right now in Detroit or in a beat up Dallas, who don't have Sean Lee again?
I got faith. They ought to be used to it by now. Yeah, they ought to be used to it by now.
Yeah, but they clearly missed him as well.
But they're used to missing them.
But that whole thing has to work though. They use the run game, helps the defense, which then gives Dak more opportunities one-on-one. They don't have any of that going on. Do we really have confidence that they're not beating the Eagles? They're not. Benice, you ain't got to worry about. Benice, we debated last year about a win. You ain't got to worry about that this week. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
He's a done. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry. I'm still going out to watch the. I'm still going to the sports bar on Sunday night to watch the game.
I put it this way: I don't really feel that the Seahawks are going to finish with more than 9 wins. You're going to have probably 2 teams out of the South.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves room for one more wild card team, and why not Dallas?
So you're saying Dallas?
I mean, it really depends. The only thing I would have to look at, I'd have to look at Detroit's schedule, just because I do know when they were talking about it, not last week, might have been week before last, they were talking about the Cowboys schedule, and the Cowboys have like the 9th or 7th hardest schedule for the rest of the season when they were looking at the rest of their season.
Right.
For the second half of the schedule. So
let's see, the Lions they got the Vikings next. So that's a trade-off, right? So one of them gonna lose, more than likely.
The Lions are gonna lose.
I said one of them are gonna lose. You think the Lions are gonna lose the
Vikings? Well, now is it in Detroit or is it in Minnesota?
It's in Detroit. Then they got the Ravens. They got the Buccaneers. Both of those on the road. They come back home for the Bears. They go back on the road for the Bengals.
Beat the Bears.
I'm naming a lot of wins right here because the Ravens probably could be a win.
Yeah, I was like, they'll probably beat the Buccaneers.
They'll beat the Bears. They'll beat the Bengals, and they'll beat the Packers without Aaron Rodgers. So that's 4 more wins.
I don't know because now the Packers seem to have hit their.
No, they played the Bears.
They
played the Bears.
The Bears.
I was trying.
What I'm saying is, out of that, if they get 4 wins out of that, even if they lose to the Vikings this weekend, that's 10. That's 10-6.
I'm with you, Pete. But the Lions are going to do Lions things.
See, you need to stop. I mean, I'm just asking because I'm just not a.
Look, the Lions aren't defined by the games that they win. They win the games they should win. Because they usually win games they're not supposed to win, but they lose
all the time.
So they're supposed to win in exchange.
So here's the Cowboys, right? They got the Eagles.
That's lost.
Hell.
They got the Chargers.
They got us twice.
They could beat the Chargers with us.
They could beat the Chargers
with the 4 of us. Plus,
and the Chargers aren't that bad.
But Phillip Rivers is going to be iffy for the next couple of weeks or whatever. Mm. They got the Redskins, and then they got.
That's a win.
You think so?
No,
I can see that.
That's a win.
Giants.
Win.
That's a
got
win.
The Raiders in Oakland. That's a
toss. That might not be a win. I was like, that's gonna be a tough. If it's a win, it's gonna be a hard.
It's gonna be tough, yeah.
And then they got the Seahawks and the Cowboys. I mean, the Eagles at the end of the season. I think both of those are L. And
really playing Seahawks. Really playing Seahawks.
They're playing at Texas.
They're playing in Seattle, aren't they?
No,
they're playing at
and Elliott doesn't come back until that last game against the Eagles. So
yeah, but do you think there'll be enough Seahawks left to actually make the trip to Texas?
You think there'll be enough Cowboys? You think there'll be enough Cowboys left?
I'm just saying, we still talking about the Seahawks like 2 years ago.
You think there'll be the way Dak Prescott was running for his life? He might not be around.
You think there'll be enough Cowboys to host him? That ought to be a question.
No, I see what you're doing. I see what you're saying, though. There's enough out there in history to not put your trust in the Lions. And there's enough out there to see what happens. But I'm just saying there's so many teams out there that the Cowboys have a little room for error that they want to make.
Yeah, but I think it'd be foolish just to count them out based on the Seahawks and the Lions.
I just asked, were they in trouble? That was the question.
They're not in trouble. They're just another NFC team.
I don't like the end of my schedule. Yeesh.
Oh, see, here we go.
It doesn't matter. You're going to win the division.
Here we go, Rod. Here we go.
Here you go.
What now, Denise? What do you not like about your 8-1 Eagles?
I don't know those Giants.
No, I didn't say I don't like my 8-1.
I'm picking
I didn't say I don't like my 8-1 Eagles. I said I was like the end of my schedule.
The Redskins again?
Right. You play the Redskins 4 times.
Because we have Dallas. We have Dallas.
The Bears are the win.
We have the Bears.
Seattle.
Then we have Seattle in Seattle.
On the prime time.
We have Seattle in Seattle. Then we have the Rams.
I know, right?
We have the Rams
that
in
was
Los
Crab
Angeles.
talking about that. I am a believer in Seattle. We without Richard Sherman.
And we have Seattle at home.
Yeah, well, the Rams gonna win the division.
I'm drinking the
And we have Seattle at home.
I'm drinking that yellow.
We have the Rams at home. Now, okay, the Giants not so much traumatized by the Giants.
You got the Raiders.
That's fair. And then we have Oakland, and then we have Dallas again.
Yeah, you do got a somewhat tough schedule,
Like
but you got room for error though. You got
wait a minute. Why are people acting like they're supposed to be afraid of Oakland?
I mean, you're saying be afraid of the Vikings. I mean, I ain't really that big a believer in them right now. But
but it's not so much believer in the Vikings. It's like look at the rest of the division.
No, I get
the Vikings don't have to be good.
But to put to that point, Oakland's division is tough. Well, except for we don't know what Denver's going through. But Oakland's division is tough. And Oakland, even though they are up and down this season,
I wouldn't sleep on Oakland. They got enough talent to beat the brakes off.
Right. They are a good team because even when they lose, it's not like they're losing and they're getting drugged and losing. Like they're not losing like Miami's losing.
Nobody's losing like Miami's losing.
Man, y'all ain't gonna talk about us like we the 49ers or something up in here now. We ain't that bad. We bad, but we ain't that bad.
Yeah, how y'all get shut out 3 times in a year?
And still got 4 wins.
And still got 4 wins.
Because 4 wins, that's unbelievable.
But let's be real about that statement. I don't care what anybody say. I think more and more the last few years, these dudes go out here when they know they ain't gonna win. You know how we used to watch games and you see certain games where teams are really trying to come back and they got talent. Mm-hmm. And then we're seeing a lot of games where I think cats are just like, man, bump it. We down
10-0. Forget it.
We down 50. We down 14-3. Oh, it's a wrap. Well, it's a second quarter. They just like forget it. I'm paid.
Yeah,
I'm paid.
Yeah, but I also think it's with those teams that they know it's gonna be hard for them to come from behind. Like they're just not built for that.
I'm just saying, don't you want to like just score a couple points just to say you were there?
Right. The Panthers are a solid team. They're not great. They're solid. They can beat you. But the Panthers are not 25 points better than the Dolphins. Let's be real. Them dudes gave up.
And y'all scored 14 in garbage time.
No, but what I'm saying, Lenise, is there's a lot of teams that are out there just, you know what? It's whatever, man.
Look at what happened to the Bills this weekend.
Yeah.
As soon as we get
and nobody saw that coming.
No, I mean we thought we knew the Saints could win, but really?
Yeah, I'm not saying that we didn't pick the Saints to win. I didn't think they were going to again. That was a land-based in the shellacking.
It was ridiculous. It was unbelievable. They beat the
nobody saw that coming. I clearly picked the Saints to win the game. I just didn't think they, because I was at work on Sunday and I only caught a little bit.
A team equipment manager ran for a touchdown in that game.
I was like, Drew Brees threw the ball 20 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. And I'm like, y'all couldn't let LeSean McCoy, because even when the Bills lose, like usually LeSean McCoy has a good game.
Let's see, the Panthers.
Dude had me 2 points.
So y'all got a W next week, Rod. Y'all got the Jets. Then y'all got the Saints. And then y'all got the Vikings. Ooh, then the Packers.
That's pick them.
Buccaneers is a win, and the Falcons. Hopefully, y'all won't need that game for the division, because if y'all do, that's gonna be a tough one in Atlanta. How
long is Jameis out?
Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
How long is
an idiot? You talking about?
And he was doing what before he got hurt?
You talking about an idiot?
Being Jameis.
Crab leg.
Exactly, being Jameis. Sorry, Lenise.
Don't be mad because he got the hookup on crab legs.
Hey, he did got a hookup. The LeAngelo Ball hookup.
Don't be mad because he got the hookup on crab legs.
At least he ain't steal them crab legs in China.
He did not. He was in Tallahassee walking out for free. See how he didn't have to go into house arrest or ask the president for assistance.
Say, Lenise, you gotta have a plan. You gotta have an infrastructure around your Yo, hook 'em.
Right. Because, when Bama's was like, well, he was taking, crab legs. I was like, first of all, I've been to that particular Publix. You can't just take crab legs. Right. Like, somebody has to actually bag those up and hand them to you. They're just not out there for your own picking. Like, somebody behind the counter put that together and handed it to him. God. I said it from the beginning. I said, that was a hookup gone wrong. But he's in Tallahassee. He didn't go do that in Miami. He was in Tallahassee.
No, he ain't doing that down there.
Florida State players are accustomed to walking out of stores without paying for stuff.
Right. They call them the Florida State criminals, endearingly.
Hey.
They were in Tallahassee, not Tehran.
They're the criminals.
They were in Tallahassee, because even then, the coach was like, well, he's got to make better decisions.
Looking for my turnover chain.
Your turnover chain?
I'm looking for it. Hey, real quick though, I got a dilemma.
D'Angelo stole your turnover chain.
I know. We can get into college football real quick, but you guys got to help me solve something here. And Rod, you're gonna like this.
I refuse.
So, I'm going down to New Orleans. The wife's got a business trip, and we're gonna actually go to New Orleans. Never been. So we're going down on the first week of December, and then Miami won, so now they're going to play in the ACC championship game against Clemson, which I'm in the Clemson area somewhat. So I had bought tickets to the ACC championship game, but we're going to New Orleans to be there the next day, and guess who's got a home game against the Panthers on that Sunday? The Saints. So I bought tickets to that game.
If you had all these tickets, but you can't get a new computer.
No,
right.
I can't.
Wow.
Wow. You know what? Let me show you what this computer can do real quick. Hey, how about that? Let me show you what that computer can do real quick. There you go. Let's do a 10-second run off. Just like Mike and Mike. We'll be back in 10 seconds.
Wow.
Okay. That's petty. That is petty Pete.
He's
all right.
And how long you know me? This is the same man that will put Tiger Woods in your fantasy league as one of your players. I looked up one time, I'm like, Tiger Woods is my running back. What the?
He had a whole roster of Woodses.
Tiger Woods. No, but seriously though, I was like, how do I can't go to both games now. So what should I go to, Lenise? What you think? Should I not go to the Saints game and get that experience and go to and watch the Hurricanes against Charlotte? Because I can't. I mean, the time is not going to work because we got to get on the road. So if I wait and leave Sunday morning, I'm not going to make it for the Saints game. So what would you do?
The Saints game.
I would think
I'll go to the ACC championship game.
Right, you're a Panthers fan, so but you do pro
see, here's the thing though. I was actually thinking about you. I'm like, okay, your team is in the championship game, so you have no allegiance to my Panthers.
Yeah, I was going for the who that. Honestly, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but how often? If this is your first time going to New Orleans, how many times do you get the opportunity to go and experience a game inside of the New Orleans? Chances are, since it appears that the U is back, they will probably end up in another ACC championship game again.
This is Miami's first ACC championship game in how many years of being in the ACC?
It's been a while. I know. I was just torn, man, because I had bought those tickets early. You know what I'm saying? But I never paid attention to the date. And then when she said, "Hey, we got a trip, we're gonna," I was like, "All right, cool." I looked at the date. I was like, "Damn." I was like, I can't do both. So
put it like that, you might want to get that who that though. Seriously.
Unless y'all are planning to, I mean, because the next time you go to New Orleans, unless you're planning it during a football season.
Yeah.
Right.
And they might not have a home game. I just feel like chances are there'll be more opportunity for the ACC championship.
Yeah.
Let me say it like this, and Pre and Prayer have talked a little bit about it already with the Notre Dame. I didn't see that coming, but the eye test, I kept telling people, Miami's defense is They're not 2001 good. There ain't no Sean Taylors and Ed Reeds out there, but there's some guys out there that can play.
Oh, there's some dudes out there.
There's some guys out there that can play.
They're not walking through that door, but yeah, they're pretty. As the old people would say,
they
they're
got
stout.
them, but they got them.
And here's the thing. I told somebody. I said a lot of them are freshmen and sophomores. So they're gonna have those guys for a couple more years. I don't know about the offense. The offense is here and there. I mean, they were there this last couple of weeks. So we'll see, man. With them boys, look, I'm happy. Like I said, I was more happy about A&T still winning too, but the U just topped it off that day. That was what it was, man. Notre Dame looked slow.
Ooh, Aggie pride.
Notre Dame looked slow. They looked.
But Notre Dame has looked slow all year though. They just been really effective.
Or even they playing a bunch of people that look a lot slower, because
that too, yeah. Well, you got a lot of armies and you got a lot of.
They didn't look. They're running for 300 yards a game, dude.
Yeah, but they didn't do it against, Georgia.
But they could have did it against Georgia this past week.
Yeah, I mean, Auburn ran for about 400 yards.
Oh my God, you talk about a butt whipping.
In all fairness, Georgia is the classic year ahead of schedule team.
Okay.
They weren't supposed to be this good this year. They're a year ahead of schedule. They've been rolling along. They had a couple good wins. They've been playing well, but they are in the SEC East. A lot of Floridas, a lot of Tennessees on that schedule, a lot of Vanderbilts,
a lot of South
Carolinas. So they look good while playing, and they've been kind of dominant. And then they ran into somebody who punched them in the mouth.
Yeah.
And kept punching them in the mouth.
Kept punching them in the mouth.
I mean, okay. Did y'all see the video of the Tennessee State player that punched the strength coach?
No, I didn't.
Yes.
Bruh, what was that about? Have we ever figured out? Has anybody come to the conclusion, the heart of the matter, of why he punched the coach?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna without having to go into all that, I'm just gonna say this: who here has been earholed, hitting the ear, and/or hitting the temple? Nobody. That's right. Do you know how you feel when you get hit right here?
Yeah.
And here? Yeah, that's what happened to Georgia. They got hit in the ear. Right after they scored that first touchdown, because they went right down the field, scored a touchdown, and they got hit in the ear. And they were just like this.
To the Fight Club.
Just gone.
Yeah, they were just gone after that.
But that's the thing, man. They got punched in the mouth and they did not recover. But I guess we have to remember that sometimes. Like, you got a lot we're still watching college football. So even though these teams are good, a lot of these teams are one-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these teams, they just can throw, or this team only can play offense, or this team. And so if you take away something that they do well, and you can take it away, that's pretty much it for most teams at that point. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it.
But I mean, you forget it's college.
Yeah, because I'm watching the game and I'm sitting there going, well, won't Virginia Tech just throw the ball? Oh, they can't.
They can't.
Won't Notre Dame just throw the ball? They can't either.
They can't.
And when they throw the ball,
it all seems so simple though in the beginning, right?
So when they threw the ball, you know what happened? Turnover chain.
I swear, every time they wrote it, there was a thought about you.
Turnover chain. Man, when I first saw that early in the year, I was like, these clowns. Like, this man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I'm
but here's the thing I gotta explain to the NFL fans in my office that just, they don't watch college. Mm-hmm. They don't. It's worse, and I like, it kind of annoys me a little bit, where the only time they watch college is in the bowl season, and that's just to see who's going to be drafted. Right. And I'm like, you can't really watch college just to see how good potential NFL players are, because they're not doing the same things in college that they're going to be expected to do in the NFL. So it's like, when you watch a team, especially these homogenous college offenses, where everybody plays the same, and you take that one thing away from them and they just fall apart, then you go, well, how did that happen? No, this is it. This is what they do when, I mean, you could flip the channel and go to a Big 12 game where nobody takes anything away.
Right.
They don't take anything away. We're not going to stop your run.
They out there.
We're not going to stop your pass.
Taking numbers as cats drive by. That's 28.
Yeah, they're taking pictures.
Petty Prev has just arrived.
They're taking pictures of that touchdown.
Petty Prev.
I like it.
So it's a night for Petty. It's what we got.
I like Petty Prev. But seriously though, that's to that point, and that's why when these matchups, you get all these different matchups and all these different scenarios that could come out of the playoffs and everything. You don't really like. There are certain things that we know relative to, Alabama and all these other teams, but honestly,
right.
After seeing what we saw the last few years, even with Alabama and all these other teams, you have no idea what's going to happen until it happens, because you don't know who's going to be able to take away what from what team until you see it happen. Like, this team got blowed out in the playoff game. So, you don't know. They were good up to that point relative to who they were playing. Yeah.
Right. I mean, they were playing a whole lot of Indiana and Illinois. Right. They looked good.
Right. That's why I said, even though, and I don't want to take too much credit from Notre Dame for saying they were not as good, because then I would be basically saying Miami is not as good. But until Miami proves it time and time, week in and week out, no one's going to believe that they can win it until they're standing with the trophy. So just got to keep winning, and they just got to find a way.
Right.
I mean, on the other hand, like I said, I'll say the same thing. Notre Dame hasn't been fast all year long. They just been real physical all year long.
That's fair.
Right.
That's fair.
They just execute. Right. They just execute all year long.
Now the one thing I will say though is, when you do have a fast defense that can tackle and can cover, and that's the thing, because if you got guys that can play on the line and stop the run or slow it up, and then you got guys that can cover, at least on defense, when I look at Miami, I'm like, they can at least match up with any offense and have a shot. It's just a matter of my mind, can they score against whatever opposing defense? Hopefully we get Oklahoma. But I don't know if that's going to happen based on the ranking, right? Because somewhere we're going to probably fall. If we would have went out, we're going to probably be 2 and 3, which means we're going to probably wind up.
He said, I hope we get Oklahoma. Like, are you sending that out now to the football guys? Or are you going to send that to the committee?
Because as good as they are,
we get Oklahoma?
As good as they are on offense, I will take a chance with that secondary and those dudes rushing the passer. I would take a chance on chasing Baker than I would a team like a Alabama just wanting to run. But Alabama actually has been kind of Jekyll and Hyde.
I was about to say, what makes you think you're going to get Alabama?
Hell, they might
what makes you think Alabama's going to be there?
They might not beat Auburn. You're right. They may not beat Auburn. And true. Georgia might get something, might just get stung up their butt, and they might try to beat Alabama for some reason.
Well, no, it's like this. It's very simple. No, to that point, Georgia ain't dead. They're going to win the East.
They still control their destiny, kind of.
Yeah, they're going to win the East. They are going to be in the SEC championship game.
I think they still control their destiny. I kind of think Wisconsin controls their destiny now that they got Michigan ranked again. But we'll see how that goes. And then, but I really hope, I don't know, Oklahoma. I'm trying to figure out, because if Miami was to go undefeated and lose to Clemson, I'm kind of thinking they won't put them in the 4 as a one loss at large. I think they're going to probably drop them out. So I think Miami.
Yeah, well, they're going to drop them out for Clemson.
Right. But some people was like, there might be a scenario. I'm like, the other couple.
Not for 2 ACC. Not for 2 ACC teams.
They're not putting 2 ACC teams.
And I really don't think you're going to get 2 SEC teams.
I don't know, Prayer. I don't think they're going to take I don't think they're going to keep a one-loss Alabama team out if Georgia was to beat them. If Alabama ran the table and got,
but that's saying that if Alabama loses to Auburn,
well, if they lose to Auburn, then they're probably. But here's the thing: if they lose to Auburn and beat Georgia, I still don't think they're gonna keep a
if they lose to Auburn, I think Auburn's gonna go into the West.
And you still got a one-loss Alabama team. That's my point.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
A 2-loss Alabama team made the playoffs 3 years ago. And then even when
this ain't 3 years ago.
But weren't they just?
They had 2 losses and they put them fools in and they wound up winning the damn thing. with 2 losses.
It still ain't. Yeah,
They do love
basically
them in
they don't.
Alabama.
But Pete, they're not really thinking about it like Pete.
Alabama.
Not as much as they love Ohio State. But the thing is this: this isn't 2 years ago. They're probably not really thinking it like that. They're really going to be going by the eye test at this point. It's not so much your record; it's going to be who is playing that well.
We say that every year, and Alabama somehow find their way to get it. If they have
last year they were only undefeated, so yeah. It's kind of hard to keep them out.
Every year. What are you talking about?
It's only 3 years, Pete.
And they were still in the championship games the 2 years before that.
Yeah, but that was the BCS. It was a different format.
And they still had Alabama. It didn't matter.
It was a different format, though. And then a lot of people talking about, Alabama and LSU. And I was like, dude, people forget. Everybody else just kept losing. They ain't have a choice but to put Alabama and LSU in together.
Okay.
Everybody else had 5 losses.
I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see them keep a 1-loss Alabama team out, because I just don't see it.
Got some breaking news that just came out a few minutes ago.
What's going on?
What is it?
NFL got fired.
NFL accuses Jerry Jones of conduct detrimental to league in regards to Roger Goodell's contract talks, according to the Wall Street Journal.
I guess they ain't bluffing.
Damn,
not at all.
This dude.
Wow.
This dude here.
Let me just say, this year's football season has been all over the place.
All over.
It's been all over the place. And for the people that are protesting and not watching, you might be missing one of the most entertaining seasons ever of just off the field shenanigans.
I mean,
well, you didn't get to watch to catch that part.
And it has been. I mean, they ain't missing a lot because there ain't been a lot of great football, but
but
it's been a lot of great
entertainment.
Well, that's why I said
a lot of great stories.
You can just turn on. You can just go to USA. Yeah, you can get that from USA Today. You don't have to turn on the game.
I didn't say anything about great football. I just said off the field shenanigans. There has been the absolute most.
You can get it from Trump's Twitter. You're watching football. Just stay on Trump.
Or you can get it from players' Twitters.
You only get it. You only get part of the story from Agent Orange's Twitter, his side.
Hey, it is what it is, because Jerry Jones, man, these billionaires ain't got nothing else to do but just clown and try to. And the man, all the man wanted was
conduct detrimental.
He just wanted a lifetime jet. That's all.
So are they going to suspend him? Because it's conduct detrimental to the league.
No,
they going to suspend Jerry.
No, they probably try and get a fine. And look, he's going to, if they do fine or try and take a draft pick or whatever it is he's going to do, and it'll just stay in court forever and all that stuff. But
yeah,
the thing is, at some point, the rest of these guys are going to have to fight. Look, man, you got all these committees. You got the competition committee, you got the compensation committee, you got the lunch committee, and if you look down the list of 20-something committees of owners, Jerry's on 6, but he's in every meeting.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there.
He's the ranking owner.
Yeah. And you're sitting there talking about, okay, so who gets the donuts? And Jerry says, we get bagels. And you're like, wait a minute, well, Jerry, what you doing in here?
Right.
And he says,
this isn't your committee.
The bagels. And I ain't telling you again.
I told you what Jerry Jones did in Indianapolis when they had the Super Bowl. When he showed up to the hotel, he had his limousine parked out, and the guy went to go told the driver, said, "Sir, you can't park your limousine out in front of the hotel." And the driver ignored him, and he said, "Sir, you can't park your limousine here." The driver ignored him, and then Jerry Jones walked out with the hotel owner and got in the limousine. And he was basically like, "This is Jerry Jones. I ain't listening to you."
Right.
I don't care who work here.
What you were not a special, sir.
You were not. I'm not moving this limousine until Mr. Jones tells me to move it.
That guy.
Now get some bagels.
Yeah, get some bagels.
I go get my bagels.
And I'd like those sliced and toasted. Thank you.
Right. With some butter. So
the parking attendant can't say, you know what, Jerry, screw you.
Right.
At some point, the rest of these guys are going to be like, you know what, man, enough of these bagels. I just want a Krispy Kreme, but here he comes. He ain't even in the meeting.
I want.
Why is he in the meeting?
Right. Why is he here?
And he's in all the meetings. It's so crazy. But didn't they? But Arthur Blank kicked him out of the committee. He about one of the few that can probably go toe. Yeah. Well, now I'm sorry, because Jerry wasn't a part of that committee. He was just in there.
Yeah, Jerry, like I said, Jerry wasn't a part of the committee. He was just shutting
Arthur
up.
was like, gets to step in. You don't have to listen to anything you have to say. Get out.
And then on top of that, he's gonna sit there and say Arthur Blank and the other guys in there was lying. He's like, how you gonna say I was lying when you ain't even supposed to be here?
Right.
He didn't even tell you that we was having a meeting or where we was having a meeting. Look, they gonna show up anyway.
Just show up.
They need to start live and say we're gonna meet in room A27.
They were doing that.
And then Jerry
somewhere else.
And Jerry was sitting there and Jerry was sitting there when they came in.
Right.
No, but
with the bagels.
No, they need to give out false information.
Right.
They did.
We're going to meet here, but we're going to be over here somewhere.
That's why Jerry was saying they gave out the false information, because they tried to lie to him about where they was having a meeting. Man, so yeah, these dudes said, man, enough of this. This dude come in every time we in the bathroom and he walk in and piss on our shoes.
I really think Jerry just wants to be commissioner.
He does. That's really what this is about. At this point, he's sitting there telling these people
but
he's got ideas for who needs to be the commissioner.
I also think he's throwing a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old because he got suspended.
Yeah,
probably so. I mean, usually,
there's no probably.
Yeah, usually anytime any of them cats do stuff, man, they're doing it relative to something that's in their best interest. And he probably got mad.
And my thing is, listen,
for a second, with the whole
you were all in when it wasn't your franchise and your key player under the microscope or under the halo of suspension. Because I remember him fully supporting Goodell during the Deflategate scenario and suspended Tom Brady. Oh, he was 100% behind him. Goodell did great work, this and that, blase, skippy, yada, yada, yada. All of a sudden now, Goodell's a backstabbing crook. He lies and the truth ain't in him.
He just won a lifetime playing, man. That's all he wants.
They said that wasn't true, Pete.
He just won a lifetime G5, man. That's all it is, And that's all it is. Anyway, are they gonna stop making a joke of this concussion protocol crap? I mean, how all of a sudden we got guys coming after the game talking about, I think I got a concussion, I need to be out.
Well, talking about
let's not say that everybody knows.
Did Rivers go out of the game, or did he? After the game,
he went to the tent. They did the test in the tent, and it's funny you mentioned that because they were actually talking about it today. He
ain't had no test in that tent. He ate a bagel.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the case may be, he went to go make good optics.
Well, Russell Wilson didn't stay in there long enough to get a bagel.
But he finally went back because he went in, came back out, and then the tent collapsed, and they had to put it back, and then he went back in. I was like, bruh, you doing too much.
That's all you got. He was like,
I'm ready to play. We got a game to try to win.
Right.
Lenise, the tent collapsed, right? Lenise, the tent collapsed, right?
The back of my brain might be way back here right now, but it don't matter.
And people talking like the Seahawks are going to make the playoffs?
Stop it.
Stop it. But, no, but they were talking about it. They had a doctor up there who was talking about it, and he said that it's possible because they were talking about Brissett and Rivers. And he was saying that you can do. He went over like preliminary test or whatever, and he was an independent doctor that they got somewhere or whatever. And but he was like sometimes symptoms don't show.
The symptoms don't always manifest like.
Yeah, he was like it does. He said it's not an instant thing. So he was like, he said so because he was like it's quite possible that 30-45 minutes after the initial hit, and the game could have been over, that they could have been feeling the symptoms. But they were also saying that this season, more so than I think they went back 5 seasons, or it might have just been last year, but they were also saying that a lot of the guys that are in concussion protocol this year are because they are self-reported symptoms. Like after the fact, they're actually going and saying something, whereas before, if it didn't present during the game and then after the game they weren't feeling okay, they would just hold on to that so they wouldn't be pulled. But this year they're actually reporting that, okay, I don't feel good, which is a good thing. That's a plus. That's a very good thing that they're starting to self-report.
They're doing it. I think some of these.
Yeah, because they said
this
year. I think they said this year it's like 39.9% of the guys that have been in the concussion protocol, they've been self-reported.
Did you just say 39.9?
Of the guys. Listen,
I'm gonna fight you. 40%.
Don't fight me because the number prior to that was extremely low.
40%. 39.9.
I'm telling you, listen, I want to be accurate in our information. Accurate in our information that we are giving to the people.
Right.
I don't want to misquote anybody.
You don't want to misquote anybody, Lenny?
No.
But I will say this.
Trey Wingo and them said 39.9%. So that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, y'all see the fantasy trophy in the background?
Yes.
Yeah.
And for a moment, I thought she's back in
Lenise,
you will not be coming to my house this year.
You will not be getting that. Good Lord. I thought I had bad luck.
No, my
team is ridiculously bad. Oh, God.
They are horrible. I mean, and I can't.
Right, I'm rooting for her. They win a game. And it's just not happening.
Hey, I've won 2.
Yeah, you did win this. You did.
Won.
No, I
won 2.
I think you won this weekend. You got 2 now.
Yeah, I've got 2 because hey, thank you, defense. I mean, way to go, Dallas, for letting your man get all them sacks and stuff. I'm here for it because I had to start the Falcons defense because the Eagles defense was going by. But Rod, the problem that I've had in this league is that no one is. I don't have like a ton of bad players, but I have no one playing consistent. Like one player will play really, really good, and everybody else will have the worst game of their career that same week. It's awful, absolutely awful.
Pete, you talk. Who's petty? Let's end this right now.
And on that.
And to anybody that's in my fantasy league that haven't paid, you cheapskates, I'm gonna give Lenise a pass because she keeps saying like she missing my email. She must be looking for horrors instead of Pete.
She trying to pay out that register at her job,
right? So I'm gonna hit her up after Black Friday, and then we'll figure that out. But all the rest of you cheapskates in the NLEE league, pay your freaking fees. And on that note, y'all have a good holiday. We'll be in touch, man. Peace out.
Thanksgiving. Bye, crazy.
I can't with y'all.